He changed the name to drop down. Come on!
Right, good afternoon. Welcome to the Proper Football Show. We're a bit early today, 3:30 kickoff, because there's a women's final on a bit later tonight. The England women Lionesses are playing against Germany. So we'll have a little chat about that later. But anyway, let's introduce the guests, the panel. Hello, Nigel. How are you, mate?
All good, mate. All good. Looking forward to a good match this afternoon.
Lovely. Gary, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm looking forward to a beer this afternoon.
Nigel's already had a couple. Hello, Greg. How are you?
I'm good, mate. And do you know what? I'm looking forward to a beer as well.
I had far too many yesterday, so it's the last thing I want at the minute. Right, well, the football season has well and truly started. It kicked off Friday night. I don't know if you lads have seen any of the games over the weekend. I caught a bit of the first game, Burnley away to Huddersfield, and I thought Burnley were really impressive. I must admit. Have you watched anyone watched any football over the weekend?
I didn't see that game, but I saw the West Brom game.
Oh, I did, and I genuinely thought Burnley looked good. They played the ball around so well.
Yeah, complete change of tactics, isn't it, and their style of football. But
it's going to be interesting with a team like Burnley because they obviously played the same way for so many years. It's going to be probably a shock to the system for their fans, isn't it? Let alone sort of like neutrals watching them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's hard to tell the first game, though, isn't it? A couple of teams.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like he's played at the highest level. So, like I said, when you get players turning into managers, they've got to bring the knowledge of the game to the clubs. So yeah, it's going to be a change around for the Burnley people down there. Some of the players are going to be able to adapt to the way he wants to play, but yeah, they look good. One of my tips to go up actually.
Yeah, we've got to do the. I know we've done the championship predictions last week, didn't we? But we're going to do the other predictions as well as you go through the show. League One, League Two, and also the Premier League starts next week. So and National League as well. So we'll give our tips for that as we go along.
And we got the big game on Monday: Watford versus Sheffield United.
Yeah, that's tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good one to kick off on it.
Yeah. You boys going tomorrow? You two Watford Oldham fans?
I'm not. I'm up here, like living up in the Midlands. So I'm not back to that TV for me. But,
yeah. You going, girl?
No.
So it was a showpiece, or the Community Shield, as it's now called, yesterday. Man City, Liverpool, and it's really hard to sort of say. You can't really take much from the game, but as you said before we come on air, Nigel, that you thought Man City looked well off the pace.
They just seem like they're a week behind Liverpool because Liverpool looked sharp and they were hungry. Man City weren't playing at the pace they normally play at. De Bruyne was off his game. I mean, there's quite a lot of them that weren't there really. But I think that there's still going to be a major force. And Haaland missed a couple of sitters, but he's going to be good in the Premiership. So. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be another good title battle.
Yeah. I think they've only had two. Someone said they've only had two pre-season games, Man City. So that's probably telling why they looked.
Yeah. I think they're behind on schedule, but like you say, the pace that we know that Liverpool and Man City play the games at wasn't there yesterday. Liverpool were on it, whereas Man City they seem to be struggling a bit.
Yeah. So I see you other two fellas were posting about Liverpool fans on their behaviour about booing the anthem and all that. Do you want to comment on that?
Well, I
probably
don't
am
know
now.
how Facebook haven't banned me. I mean, I can't believe I don't get banned on Facebook. I must have something going or something. I must undercover Facebook something. I don't know. I was quite vocal about it. Just not why boo the national anthem? You know, all right. I know they don't look at themselves as Englishmen anymore. They're not English. They're Scouse. They make that very clear. But I think there's enough bullshit going off in this country about being English, not to have them lot do what they do. So no, fuck them. That's what I say.
Yeah, I think with my point of view, I think when they booed it in the FA Cup final, it really, really wound me up. But when they booed it yesterday, I just, first of all they booed it, then they start singing their own song, and then they start singing about politics, and you just think they're just idiots. They're nothing more. They're just idiots. Simple as that. They're thick. They're just idiots.
City, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just morons. And the thing with them as well is, okay, it's not going to be all Liverpool fans. There'll be some decent Liverpool fans out there. But for me, with a lot of clubs, you have a minority of idiots. I believe with Liverpool, I think it's the majority. You don't get a whole away end or cup final end like that, and all booing it and singing their own crap. You know what I mean? I can't stand them personally, and I'm not afraid to say that. I hate them. I hate their fans. I hate what they stand for.
Don't sit on the fence, Greg.
No, I'm not.
No. While we have touched on this political thing, I just wanted to bring something up that's not football related, but I think it's really important to be brought up, and that is the opening ceremony for the Commonwealth Games. I don't know if you watched it, and the big massive ball they pulled out. Did you watch the opening?
I didn't see it. I was working.
No, did you? Anyone see it? No.
Mate, I thought it was so boring. I just fell asleep.
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, it was a right proper boring event in some respects, but they brought out this 50-foot ball, and it was really all very good, and it had this front canopy on its head. And I just want to mention it because I think it's worth a mention. And on there was the names of the 21 people that died in the bombings in 1974, engraved on this ball. And I thought that's such a wonderful gesture. And the families didn't even know that they'd done it. BBC did not even let anybody know about it. And it just went unnoticed. What wonderful gesture, by the way. Wonderful gesture for the 21 people that died in the bombings in Birmingham. And it's been ingrained in their history. It's a Birmingham event. Why did that not get highlighted? Why was that not mentioned because I actually took the front cover off the front of the ball at one point, never once mentioning that the names on there were the 21 people that died in the pub bombings. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, I just thought it was worth a mention because what a failure on behalf of the BBC not to pick up on that.
A lot of the football lads have got involved with that campaign, isn't it? The Justice for the 21. They've all come together as a city, so they should have made it. I mean, fair play, they did put it on there, but they should have, like you said, It
was a wonderful tribute. There's no two ways about that.
I suppose it's getting some exposure now where they've apologised, haven't they? They have apologised since for not. And that's even in the BBC article that's come out, which is a good thing, even a bit more publicity, isn't it? But yeah, no, make you right, mate. Make you right.
Manchester, and it is absolutely entwined in Birmingham's history what happened that day. And they failed to, and I just couldn't believe it. Well, I've only found the next day on social media through talking, on social media with people that are involved. But there we are.
Yeah,
I mentioned it, and we've promoted it.
We've promoted it, definitely. I think Greg, his comments on the booing. I think his mates on the wind up there. Greg said yesterday.
I can vouch for that. My mates on the wind up there.
I just think you just stay quiet if you don't like it. But I've got I've got a mate I've known from years and years, and he's a proper scouser. Follows them everywhere, Europe, and I know he wouldn't boo it. He's quite patriotic, actually. He's probably goes against the grain. So I always find it, and he was at Hillsborough as well that day it happened. And I know he lost friends. It's a difficult one for me, but no, I do agree with you. And he would even say the same as me. Yeah, there is a lot of idiots who who just put too much politics into it all, and you don't need that. We've got enough of that in football anyway, haven't we?
Well, exactly.
It is a shame for those genuine fans that have to be dragged into that, and unfortunately do get tarred with the same brush.
Yeah. Right, an happier story this week, if I can find it, was Oldham. Finally been taken over. Yeah. Let's see if I can find the thing. Fantastic news from it. I can't. You know, it's so small. This thing you can't actually see it. Is that it there? Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. Oldham have been finally taken over from, I can't remember the fella's name, but they took over from. But it's a local man. He's a chairman. Frank Rotherby is his name. Anyway, I've got a video. We're going to play it. It's a couple of minutes long, but it's well worth watching. And just shows he's a right character, and I really hope it does work out for him.
Yeah.
And let's see if I can find it. Here we go.
Who's in the Atleticos? Put your hands up. Come on. Right, fantastic. Who bangs the drum? It's not here. It's here. Big band. What? My wife and myself, we came to the Leighton Orient game, and because the Atleticos sung so loud for so long, we thought it were recorded. It was absolutely brilliant. When Dorking come here, Dorking! Does anybody know where Dorking is?
Fucking hell is that?
We want to fill this place. Yeah. So we want them to wonder, what the hell have we come here for? Tell all your mates, get here for the first game. We're going to have a brass band. Well, I'm the kind of guy.
They call me the Wanderer. They call me the Wanderer.
Well, anyway, thank you very, very much for coming here.
Thank you. What with it?
Me and Joe Royal. Joe Royal is going to be on the board.
Get in there.
He's got a bad leg tonight. He's having a new hit. But he's excited about me giving us advice on how it was done last time. We're going to start again. John is absolutely over the moon. He's really up for it, as you know. And yes.
Yeah, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's just a character, old school character, isn't he? Typical, like your Oldham old school working man. I don't know what his company is. It's some, is it a log cabin business or a caravan business or something? But
Mate, I would be so happy if I was an Oldham fan now. You know, what a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Flat.
And they've been through the shit as well, haven't they? They deserve it.
Yeah, what a breath of fresh air in football that is.
he said, "Where's the drummer?" Who's like, must be the drummer. And they went, "His band." He went, "Is he?" I can imagine that band being undone.
He won't be banned anymore.
Nah.
But they banned loads of them, didn't they? That were protesting.
Yeah, weren't they just, they were just banning people for silly things, weren't they? Like even like social media
really
posts
nasty,
and all sorts, weren't they?
It had become really toxic, hadn't it, at Oldham and the goings on. I think we had a lad come on one of the shows one night, and it was very toxic. And Oldham, the first club that played Premier League football to be in the non-league setup as well. Not a bit of history they want, but I would be happy going non-league if I had a chairman like that, mate.
Oh, 100%.
What a brilliant bloke, man.
It'll be packed next week, won't it?
Now,
it'll be packed. Kicks off next
it
weekend,
will.
doesn't it, the National League? So,
they say, I think if you've got a bloke with that sort of character, he'll draw fans in.
Yeah.
People will come and support that club because of him, not just the team. Wonderful. Brilliant. Love it.
Nah, great news. And some great news in football for once and having a good chairman. I mean, hopefully it don't all go tits up for him. You never know, do you? But just it's great to have some characters back in the game and people who get involved with the fans and can go out and talk to the fans like that, because you don't get that anymore.
And sing to them.
And sing to
Dan, all I got to say is, Dan, the only problem with that video was it looked like it was right in one of them mirrors that you get in the front there, you know.
I think it's only us who can see it like that. I think when it goes to out, people can see it full length for some reason. Yeah, yeah, it did look like that. Right, shall we do our predictions for the National League while we're here? Have you or do you think it's going to go up?
I haven't done mine, but I'll quickly.
I've done every other league bar the National League.
I'm abstaining from the Premier League because I'm you know what I mean?
All right, we'll do the National League next week then. We'll do that next week. Right, what's some other topics we've got to talk about now then?
We've got 1 and 2 to do.
We've got 1 and 2, yeah. We'll come on to that in a second. I just want to touch on Reading's new kit. Have you seen it? Reading's new home kit highlights climate change.
How?
With a sleeve. See the sleeves?
Yeah.
So for 150 years since they was formed, the colours represent how it's got hotter and hotter as it goes down the sleeve.
Oh, right. Okay. So one day
they contradict themselves by their sponsor, which is a car leasing company.
Yeah, so massive own goal.
They'll come back and say, yeah, but it's electric cars.
Yeah, I've looked into the company. They do everything. But what happened? You see the blue, the end of the sleeve, it's got blue, which is the Reading colours. That means it gets cold again next year. So that
means the ice age is coming, mate. We had an ice age before when there was no cars, and
it's more agendas coming into football that we don't really want to. I know none of us want to see in it.
Is there anybody on here who actually cares about the Reading strip?
You're talking about strips. I watched the Bristol Rovers Forest Green game yesterday, and if I was a Rovers fan, which I sort of do have a massive soft spot for Bristol Rovers, and I will get to a couple of their games this year, no doubt, but they didn't look as good as they did last year. But I've got to say the Forest Green kit, mate. Oh,
I saw that on the highlights.
It's awful, mate.
It was patterns all over it.
Tiger pattern in pink and black, like tiger strips all over it. And then the home kit's just as bad. It's lime green. But then it is an Eco Warrior, you know.
Well, I was going to say their owner's a bit of a div anyway.
But they're edible, them shirts, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, mate. Forest Green, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not even a place, is it?
It's a village.
Nah, it's a village somewhere.
It's not a place. There's a village near it, isn't there? And it's all Eco Warrior stuff, isn't it? You know, Forest Green. And
it's like the ground and stuff as well, isn't it? They do like.
Well, he funds a lot of the protests, doesn't he?
Yeah, the ones who tied themselves to the goalpost. He funded them.
All that, I heard on Talk Sport they were saying like, "Did you condemn it?" Was it after the Everton one? And he was like, he was saying that. He was like,
I'd give him 10 grand. That's what he said.
They also the away toilets now. They're plumbed in so that all the away fans' piss goes back onto the pitch and treats the pitch. They've got some new system. We had it on the other week.
Nigel, would you be happy playing on that pitch, mate, back in the day?
Would I be happy playing on Forest Green's pitch?
Yeah, when it's full of piss.
No.
You could probably take the piss on it, Nigel.
I know at their ground, because obviously they don't serve meat, do they?
I've never even seen the ground, to be honest.
To the fans. You know, it's all. I'm wondering, do they do the same with the players as well? Like the players' diets. I wonder if they're that strict where I say to the players you can only eat this, and this, or if they're a bit more relaxed. But
so again, Nigel, my question is: would you be happy giving up steak and chips to play for Forest Green on a pitch full of piss? Mate,
the answer is always going to be no.
No wonder that manager come to us. Fucking hell, man.
I know. I didn't realise we got a village manager.
Yeah, village.
Your new manager at Watford is a Village Green manager.
Right, should we do our Premiership predictions then?
Hey, I've got to say one thing, all right, before we go on, all right. Derby won yesterday. They played at Pride Park in League One. There was 31,000 supporters there in League One.
Brilliant.
any other team going to get that in League One. I mean, that was unbelievable.
What was the attendance at Ipswich? I think they was expecting
20,
about
I saw
27.
that earlier. 28, I think.
28.
Yeah,
That's tremendous. League
Sheffield
One,
Wednesday had-
unbelievable.
Sheffield Wednesday Portsmouth had 30, I think, as well. 31,000.
Sunderland earlier was 41, I think, as well. Obviously, that's
Sunderland,
championship.
champion. But yeah, if you look at that, then yesterday you got Derby and Sheffield Wednesday both over 30k. You got Ipswich at 28k. Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That just shows you the loyalty of the supporters that you got with these teams, right? You know.
Yeah.
And these are people that are paying money they probably maybe not be able to afford, but they live it each week for their teams.
Yeah.
And that is the highlight of the week. At the end of the week on a Saturday, they go and support the teams. And hands up to everybody, who's going to support these teams. But brilliant turnout.
Yeah, no, fantastic. It was a late winner, wasn't it? 1-0. Oxford are quite fancy them, weren't they? So it was a good result.
Yeah, listen, every result's a good result, especially down there when you're trying to get back out of it. But it just shows you there's some big sides in the lower leagues like League One. There's some Sheffield Wednesdays. There's some big sides. They've got the support, and we just want to see them try and get back into the top leagues now.
Yeah.
I think Derby will be all right this year, actually. I think that it's kind of a bit of a fresh start for a minute. You know what I mean? Good few players have come through the door now as well, and loads of experience that have come through the door. I think
I've got them in the playoffs in my predictions.
Let's do our League One predictions then. So, who have you got, Gal?
Right, okay. So, I've got Ipswich, and you might be surprised at this one, Wickham to go up. Right? Yeah. Then I've got Derby, Sheffield Wednesday, Portsmouth and Plymouth in the playoffs. And going down, I've got Shelton. Now, I'm going to be straight. I may do a very big disservice to these clubs. But because I'm not really sure what the form is here. But I've gone for Cheltenham, Burton and Morecambe to go down.
All right.
You need one more as well. 4 from that.
Oh, do I?
Four down. Right?
Oh, well, I'll have to find that one out later.
Luton.
Go down and down again.
Yeah, just keep going down like I did before.
What's your predictions, Greg?
So I've got Derby and Sheffield Wednesday top 2. No order specifically, but playoffs I've gone Ipswich, Barnsley, Peterborough and Plymouth. And then the 4 to go down, I've got Accrington, Burton, Fleetwood and Morecambe.
Right. They're all quite similar, aren't we? Surprised you put up Barnsley there, though. But yeah, they've only just come down, didn't you?
They're a bit of a yo-yo side, aren't they? I think they'll be one of them. Like in that league, they'll probably do quite well at home, and they'll probably be there or thereabouts. But to be fair, like you look at it, and I've not put Portsmouth in there, or I've not put Wickham in there, so it's quite hard to.
It's really hard, didn't it? Took me ages to look. Just picked them out. Yeah. What have you got tonight? Or who do you fancy to go up automatically?
Well, obviously, I'm going to say I think Derby will be up there. I'm looking at Portsmouth, Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich, and possibly Bolton. I think Bolton have got a chance. So I'm not really. I'll be honest with you. I've not looked at the bottom 3. I think Oxford are going to struggle. I think Bristol Rovers are going to struggle.
On yesterday's performance, I agree with that.
Yeah. I've switched them in. I don't think Simon would be happy if he's listening, but I've switched them into my relegation candidates now. So I've got Port Vale, Rovers, Cheltenham and Morecambe to go down. Sheffield Wednesday and Derby to go up. Like a bit of a consensus there. And I've got MK Dons, Peterborough, Ipswich and Wickham. Go with Gary. That would quite fancy Wickham to do. Do well this season.
I think Bristol Rovers. All right, Stephen will come on to that in a minute, won't we, Dan?
Yeah.
But I think Bristol Rovers, in fairness, because obviously one of our team is a big Rovers fan, and to be fair, they're probably my second team. And I did watch the game yesterday, and fantastic crowd there as well, sold out. They just look so dodgy at the back.
Yeah, and that guy, I was going to mention the Bristol Rovers player who's sadly been diagnosed with
let's touch on that as well.
cancer.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you know, look. See, I've got my up on the wall there. I think it's one of the most fantastic pictures in modern day football. That
but yeah, Nick
players
Anderton
out celebrating with the fans like that. It's mental. And there he is, with the guy halfway up the post.
Yeah.
Is the chap that's been diagnosed with cancer. Heartbreaking, and hopefully, it's very rare bone disease. He's got to have an operation on, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got to have something taken out of his legs. I mean, you don't want to sort of surmise on what's going to happen, but you'd hope it ain't going to.
No.
Well, first of all, you hope he makes a recovery and beats it. And,
when Rovers got their goal yesterday, the players ran over to the bench and got his shirt out. And lifted it
really?
Up. Yeah. I mean, like I say, I've got it up here because I genuinely believe it's one of the most iconic modern day pictures where you've got players still in their kit up the Gloucester Road in Bristol, celebrating, and they were like that all night, and they were in the nightclub still in their playing kit
all week. I think a couple of them, weren't they?
And it was just absolutely, we as fans or traditional fans are losing the love from the game. I think they don't. A lot of clubs don't want us around, and I think things like this, things like the Oldham, it makes me feel, gives me enthusiasm to carry on a bit and think, you know what, there's still that passion in football for it's not just a game, it's not just an entertainment like so many people and modern day fans and certainly the modern day authorities in the game. It's just a product to them now. And modern day fans, it's entertainment. It never was entertainment. And Nigel almost hit everything on the head when he was talking about the Derby fans and other fans. It absolutely is part of their lives, and to see this player do what he did and now get cancer, heartbreaking for the lad.
Yeah. From extreme, like the ultimate excitement and achievement, so then it hit by that news is pretty sure. So we wish him all the best from everyone.
Mate,
definitely.
And a lot of football family always comes around on Twitter and social media. A lot of Bristol City fans, and even on our page, were sending their wishes and all that. So wish him all the best. There's a funny picture that popped up this week at Elgin City against Queen of the South, I think it was. Have you seen that? It's brilliant photos taken there. Hot chocolate's gone everywhere. I don't know what the person's doing.
That's brilliant.
Elgin City put a tweet out, and they said they're going to offer him some new refreshments. I think a new shirt as well might be in there. But yeah, great picture. Right, should we crack into the Premier League? I know you want to abstain from this, Gary.
Well, do you want to? That Stephen's asking a few questions there. Did you want to? You brought it up on the screen.
Where's he gone? Is he talking about the women's football?
First? Yeah, he wants to know what we all think the score. Touch on it when you're ready. And just Stephen, you're watching, mate. Whenever Dan's ready, got that on his agenda, we'll answer them questions for you, no problem, mate.
Yeah, I think we'll end up with the women's football at the end. I think. Premier League. So, who do you fancy, Nigel? Who's your top four? I think the top two is quite easy, but the top four is more of a difficult one, isn't it?
I still can't look outside the top three: Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. Although I do think, depending on how Man United start the season off, I think they could be up there. They've still got a good squad. So it all depends on the impact that this new manager's had on them. But he seems to have brought some standards in at the club and, discipline to the team. So it'll be interesting. But if Man United don't start well, I still think it's just going to be Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City.
Do you not think Tottenham are looking like they've had, for once in their lives, have actually had a good window?
At the moment, Tottenham and Arsenal, I don't think they've got the metal about them. They're glamour sides. When I played for Watford, we used to love playing Arsenal and Tottenham because it's full of paper boys and posers, and I still think you've got that mentality at them clubs. So I like the manager Conte. I like him, but I really can't see past Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea.
Yeah, Greg, your thoughts, mate?
So I'll go Man City to win it. I think they'll win it. Not comfortably, but I think they'll win it, or I'll be reasonably comfortable. Liverpool second, and then it's a toss up for me between Chelsea and Spurs third and fourth. What Gary was saying about obviously Spurs and Arsenal, they both made good signings, both done good business. But I do agree with what obviously Nigel says, and like, are they going to be consistent this season? Probably not. They'll probably get off to a flying start, and everyone will kind of get ahead of themselves, and then a team like Arsenal will probably go and lose to Bournemouth or so. They're that sort of team, aren't they? And I think whereas the Liverpools and Man Cities of the world, they're a little bit more consistent, and that's why they're up there. But yeah, it's a tough one because obviously I'm excluding United, I'm excluding Arsenal out of that top four, but can only be obviously 4 from the 6, and I don't think the likes of West Ham and them guys who were up there in previous years will be good enough to get in there, really.
Yeah. Just say hello to Ben Cliff and out to Mike Howe. Hope you're doing all right. And we've got Stephen Wheeler, Ben Higgins, Mike Lear, Stephen Parkin, Nicky Lewis. Hello, good afternoon to all of you. Yeah. Well, I think Ben Cliff's just sort of echoing what you just said there, Greg. He said Tottenham have got. I think Tottenham have got more of a chance than Chelsea, to be honest. I don't fancy Chelsea at all. They've got a lot of work to do in the transfer.
Yeah, see, I've heard a lot of that about Chelsea recently, and about like people are sort of doubting the manager if he's going to last, if he's happy, and obviously I don't know enough about it. It's probably a Chelsea fans kind of area to speak about that, but
it's all Barcelona.
It's going to be interesting.
The
sort of team that needs to get off to a good start. I think otherwise, I think the manager will be under some sort of pressure. But...
Yeah, I don't fancy him. I do fancy. I've got Man City to win it, Liverpool second, Spurs third, and Man United fourth, but. It could have been a tough start anyway. I think, but like you said, you mentioned West Ham are a good side. Palace have got a good team. We'll get Palace, and they've got a good team this season. So I think there's a lot of good teams who will be able to nick points off of them third and fourth place teams. So I think it's going to be quite tight. But the top two are just a mile above everyone. What do you think, Gal? You got any views on it? Have you muted yourself?
No, you know my thoughts on the Premier. Look, Man City. We spoke about Liverpool. Let's take away our bias over what the fans are like at Liverpool and look at it in real terms. It is a 2-horse race. I don't think anyone's going to get near them. I think the rest will be fought out. I think Man City will be the side to beat, although. I don't know. It's very difficult. The Charity Shield is a result that all right. You know what I mean? It's like that, isn't it? I think Man City, Liverpool, them two are going to battle it out. I think then 4 teams for me after that, really, which would be Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
I think I agree with Nigel about the mentality of Arsenal and Tottenham. I think Arsenal more so. They're quite a young side. I think they'll come unstuck. I think Greg touched on it, but I think Tottenham have got that still now with Conte being there. I think he does bring a lot to the table with them massively. But right, bottom three, I've found this really tough. I've got 2 certs, but my third one, I really didn't know what to put. I'll tell you mine anyway quickly. Bournemouth, Fulham to go down, and then anyone from Wolves, Everton, Brentford, and Leeds. I don't fancy Forest to go down, but I'm going to go with Everton. That's more wishful than anything. Nigel, do you think it's going to go down? Yours, Nigel?
Yeah, right. I don't know. I've got a funny feeling that Brentford are going to struggle this year. I don't know. I think they've had a good first season, but it's like the honeymoon's over now, and whether they're good enough to stay up, I don't know. I think Forest are going to struggle, and I think Fulham are going to be back down there again as well. I just don't. I think the teams that come up from the Championship at the moment, not unless they're investing lots of money into players. I think with the squads they've got, they ain't going to be good enough for the Premiership. So it's a case.
Big golfer now.
Yeah, it's a case of do you buy the bullet and spend loads and spend over your budget to try and get players to keep you in that league, or to just try and? It's like Gaz said about Norwich. They're a bit of a joke because they get promoted, they don't want to invest any money. They come down, they get the parachute payments, and then they go back up again, which is like it's a bit of a Mickey take, really, isn't it? So
yeah.
I think
And
Forest
that's
have.
why that distribution on parachute payments is obviously there's changes afoot there. I'm not sure what they are, but I think it's clubs like Norwich, more Norwich than anyone else. I think
I think Forest got a bit of stick, haven't they, for Jesse Lingard? But when you look at that deal, it's actually not. Is it 1 year deal? He's on big money, but when you work it out over the season, he's not paying a fee for him. And if he keeps him up, it's a good. I think it's a really good signing. But
I'll put that back up, mate. I've got about 3 words.
What was that one?
Down.
He's So I think I watched the playoff final last year, and I just thought that the quality wasn't great in that. It was Forest and Sheffield United. I didn't think the quality was that great. But Forest have bought a load of new players, so it's just how quickly Steve Cooper can gel them all together. And I do think they'll be one out of 3 to stay up. But Ben's made a good point there. Ben Cliff, Bournemouth, Fulham, and Forest to go down.
That is a really sad point that we've reached in the game we love, because I think we are very close now. I'm not so sure that all 3 will go down. I think
Forest
and Brentford will be in the mix. However, I think we are getting very close to the day where 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. The Premier League will become very elitist because the chances of them getting demoted, relegated, will be very, very, very remote, and takes competition out of football, in my view, and a bit of the glamour. Boring, really. The Premier League's a boring league, mate. It's a boring league.
I think with the Forest side, what you're on about is, do you know that the manager had him playing last year? He got him playing good football. They've brought in quite a lot of players now, but are them players going to be able to fit in with that style of football that they've been playing to get them up there? And then secondly, is that squad of players that got promoted, are they good enough to hold the Premiership?
Probably not.
You can bring new players in, but if they don't adapt to the team that they're in and it doesn't work out, then all of a sudden you're back to square one, aren't you?
I think that happened with Watford a lot last year. You know, we brought in a lot of players who were just nowhere near the level needed. No real experience. Do you know what I mean? We got caught out. But for me, I think Fulham and Bournemouth, I think, will go. And my punt, sort of a bit of a dark horse to really struggle next season, is Wolves. So I've kind of tipped them a little bit to go down, if not go down, sort of bottom 6 or bottom 4. And I think that the reason for that is living up there, speaking to a few people, they're really negative. They're still not sold on their manager, even though he's been there a while. They don't feel like they've done any real business. And obviously they're lacking in a few areas. I think they were quite goal shy last year, weren't they? And I just think that based on that and based on the fact that they don't really seem to have done much, except I think they spend 20 million quid on some guy from Burnley, but except for that, they haven't done much. I think they're going to struggle. Wolves. I think they're the one.
I agree with you. The fans are on their back, aren't they? They had a good start last season, and then the ending, it was boring football, like when they got rid of the other fella before, Santos, wasn't it? I just don't. Yeah. I think it won't take long for the fans to jump on them. And
exactly. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
But Leicester, another team, haven't bought anyone in at all.
Yeah.
Newcastle come in for a bid for Maddison. None of us have mentioned Newcastle, have we? Funny enough, but that's surprisingly they haven't spent like I thought they would. They seem to be doing it quite methodically, and had a bid turned down to Maddison for 30 million, wasn't it? Which is quite surprising how cheap that was.
I think I take me out of Newcastle. I think they're going into this. They've got the richest club in the world tag, and they're going into this. They're not rushing in and buying up everyone, and they're going in. They're they're going to make it sustainable, aren't they? You know, it's not always sustainable for a club to get a lot of money and go bosh, bosh, bosh. It'll last a couple of years, fall apart. I think they're going about it the right way, and I think they've probably got a long-term plan with Newcastle. Newcastle will get up there. They will be challenging the Man Cities and Liverpools, but I don't think they'll be doing it for a couple of seasons. And they'll do
It's all
right.
about it's all
They'll
about
right.
what their fans' expectations are as well. Because obviously the club are going to have their own plans and in-house plans, but you get a lot of fan bases who they're just massively over the top and exaggerated. And there probably will be genuine Newcastle fans out there that think they should be top 6 and whatever, But realistically, it's not going to happen overnight, is it? So if they do drop points at home to certain teams, it's St James's Park. Is it going to turn? What are their fans' expectations? That's the thing.
Yeah, I think they're just happy to get rid of Aston, but you're right, they could get a bit carried away. There's a good point here from Michael Fitzpatrick. Hello, Michael. If Everton don't start well, will they sack Frank? Then anything could happen. Brentford are like no other club, the recruitment, etc. That's good. They have got a good recruitment, and they Brentford. I like their manager, but they need a decent ball player because they lost Ericsson. I wonder if anyone on PSG or Chelsea. Gallagher, Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, there's a few players who could be loaned out to some of these clubs. That makes a big difference. A loan lot. We had Gallagher last year. It was a great loan
and the
signing,
answer
but
is,
quality for you.
the answer to that one is.
oh, you've frozen, mate.
If he has a string of defeats, let's say within 6 games, he could be out of a job.
Yeah,
if they don't
I
win,
think there was they was lucky to stay up. I thought.
I think they really are going to struggle, and I don't see Lampard there at the end of the season anyway.
They've lost Richarlison, haven't they?
Yeah,
Which
and he
is
got
a
him
big
out of the
loss.
hole a lot of times last season, didn't he?
Yeah, he's quality, and then you've got Rafinha at Leeds, who's gone, isn't he, to Barcelona?
Yeah, I think the
So
Leeds manager's another one. I think he'll be under
Leeds is
pressure.
going to struggle. Yeah,
He'll be under pressure. I think,
Is that right? Dele Alli's been got rid of, or is that just gossip?
Not heard that.
I know that one.
No,
that one. But I think 2 of the boys who come up will go down, but I think the 3rd place is open to quite a few teams. Be quite interesting to see how that goes. Right, should we crack on the women's foot? We've had a lot of people asking questions about the final today.
You got that
Kicks
League
up at
One
5 o'clock.
We finish off with that. You're going to do
What's
League
that, mate?
2, League 2 predictions.
All right, yeah. Do you want to do League 2?
Do them, and then we finish off with the women.
Yeah, go on in, mate. So I'll just do my League 2. I've gone Bradford. Big support, big club. They've been threatening for a few years. You all right, Nigel?
Point by Ben Cliff, he says Newcastle don't have the pulling power that people think that Ford, Becketti, well, coach PSG over Newcastle, so the top players aren't gravitating towards them.
Here we go.
Newcastle have been bottom half of the Premier for a long time. I think if they have a half decent season this year and they finish top half, I think that's when you're going to see the big players then starting to get attracted to the club, the wages they can get at the club. Yeah. So I think a lot depends on this season with Newcastle. And if they get Maddison, he's a great signing. But if they finish top half, I think you see the interest next year that players will start wanting to go to Newcastle. So it's a good point by Ben.
Yeah. And I think it also their probably aim is to make the UEFA Cup is probably their aim, isn't it? And then it's European football, which again will attract players, wouldn't it?
European football to a lot of players is like take Ronaldo for instance. He don't want to play for Man United this year because he wants to play Champions League football, and he knows he's coming to the sort of back end of his career. So that's the reason he still believes he's good enough for that. But it's all about what sort of football you're going to be playing with the team you're at. And obviously, everybody wants to be in the Champions League. So again, like you're saying, if they get the UEFA Cup this year, Newcastle, that's them in Europe, and then maybe signing some good players next year, they can push with the Champions League. So it's a big season for a lot of clubs this year.
I don't think Newcastle it wasn't a great squad they had last year. Eddie Howe done an unbelievable job there. Unbelievable job to get them where he did. They were searching to go down, weren't they?
Yeah. You're talking about fan bases. I mean, them fans up in Newcastle, Geordies, have been so patient. They've stuck behind the team. They've gone through a horrendous 10 years. And they're still there, So, I'd love to see Newcastle do well because I think the Geordies are top people and, they've been loyal fans and,
Yeah. They've always travelled well. Whenever they come to Palace, midweek game, Tuesday night, Monday night, they fell out the away end. Noisy supporters you get down there. So, they are. I was a bit when I thought they sort of sold their soul a bit when they all got behind this Saudi owner. But at the end of the day, I think I would have probably done the same at Palace, to be honest. They just love their club, don't they?
Listen, there's politics off the field, but then you've sometimes you've got to go. It's all about the football club, and at the end of the day, it's a sport. Football's a sport, and it's probably one of the most supported sports in the world. And every single supporter of every single club wants to see the best players in the world at their club. So you can't have a go at Newcastle for that. I mean, like I said, they've put up with some shit over the years. So onwards and upwards, I'd love to see them get some players in. I'd love to see some success up there because I've got quite a few friends at Geordie's anyway, and they're friendly people.
Oh, mate. I've been up there on the razzle with them when we played them because I know, like you say, I got a lot of friends up there, and they took me out on the piss one weekend, mate. And they took me in, and I'm going to say this, and every Geordie who watches this will have a laugh about this because I know exactly what I'm on about. They took me in a place called the Beehive. Now already there's Geordies going, yeah, right, we know this one, mate. I got around in, and they made me get around in. They saved it till we've gone in the Beehive in Newcastle. I'm not kidding. I bought I think some I think what they were drinking now, and I had a Stella. I bought about 4 or 5 drinks. It came to about £7.50. I nearly died, and I was all waiting to see my thing. Anyway, I got that drunk at 4 in the morning. I found myself in the middle of Newcastle. They left me there thinking it was funny. I didn't know where I was. Eventually got back to my hotel room, got to the game on the Saturday, mate, and I was just sat there like that, dying, man. Great night out there, mate. Great night.
We've all been there.
They got some good stadium plans. Have you seen the plans for the stadium and the surrounding area? I don't know if they're putting them in. It's what they're going to do. It was just like someone come up with, but it looks like Man City have done training grounds, and I think they're going to. The Saudis are going to invest in the community there and all. So, which Man City have done massive, didn't they? I know everyone has to go out their money, but they have put a lot of money into that in their community there. So
it is a religion in Newcastle, like it is everywhere, but they take their religion to another level up there. In all fairness.
Oh God, yeah. And
it's wonderful that the ground sits in the middle of the city. It overlooks the city. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we've Stephen Park in. He said here, Nigel, England are coming on to the Wembley pitch to warm up, just like you did when you played football. Well, we're going to talk about England, the ladies now. Oh no, we're not. We're going to do the League Two. Let's just roll through that quickly.
Oh, don't go there for me. I ain't even looked at League Two.
I've got Bradford to go up, AFC Wimbledon and Crewe, and Ben Cliff there. He's put Crewe Alex to go up as well. Crewe Alex will go up and down a lot, don't they? Playoffs have got Swindon, Northampton, Mansfield. Who else have got Grimsby? I fancy Grimsby to come up. Although all the teams who come up from the National League actually lost Saturday, didn't they? But it's early days, isn't it? Who do you fancy to go up, boys? Do you think the National League teams are struggling in League Two this season?
No, I think they'll do all right. I don't think there's a massive gap between top of the National League and League Two, to be honest. I think, you looked over previous years and the top 10 in the National League, I think they could all hold their own in League Two. I've gone Bradford, Doncaster and Gillingham top 3. Obviously 3 up in it automatically. And then I've done Stockport, Salford, Walsall and Grimsby playoff. I think Walsall will have a decent season. I don't know why. Just that they got that manager in from Newport, and I think what I've heard, they've made a lot of signings, so I think they'll go well.
Yeah. Salford, Gary Neville's mob. You getting behind him, are you?
I don't like them, but I think they'll do well. yeah, one of them, isn't it? Yeah.
Have you had a chance to look at it
in the modern game, isn't he? But
you had a chance to look at League Two, girl?
Yeah. I've gone going up. Funny enough, I've gone Northampton, Bradford and Walsall. I agree on the Walsall thing. I think there's something there. And then playoffs, I've got Harrogate. I think Harrogate, something telling me Harrogate. Doncaster, Mansfield and Wimbledon.
Yeah, I do fancy Wimbledon to do all right this season.
And I haven't gone for relegation in the International League.
I went Barrow, Stevenage to go down. But Barrow won 3. Well, no, they beat Stockport, you said, didn't they? So
I've just got 2 to go up. My 2 to go up, Salford and Bradford. I think Bradford will be up there this year.
Yeah.
Mark Hughes is their manager.
12,000. Who's their manager?
Mark Hughes.
Do you know what? I thought I see him on the telly. You're right. He is.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought I see him. I thought, no, it can't be. So
Yeah, I think they go up. I've got them to go up.
big support as well, wouldn't they? 12,000,
That's-
13,000 at home.
But to be fair, and lessons learned for other clubs, the Bradford have always had a massive season ticket support, but that's big. It's not exactly the most glamorous area, is it? And I dare say it's not the most affluent, but they price their season tickets so well that they've looked after their fans for so many years, and the fans, fair play to them, have stuck with them.
It's a nice ground, isn't it? Three sides are all like a proper Premier League ground, aren't they?
It was a Premier League ground, wasn't it, for a little while?
Yeah. Right, we're going to move on to the England ladies now. Now, got a little surprise for Nigel here. Now, with England beat Sweden in the semis, didn't they? Brilliant back heel from Russo, wasn't it? And we're just going to show this clip for you, Nige.
Armstrong again. Callaghan! He backheeled it in. Oh, what a cheeky goal. Nigel Callaghan. The 19-year-old makes it 2-0. Having made the first, he scored the second. And if they have a competition for the cheekiest goal of the season, that's got to win it. Pritchard took the corner long. Armstrong got up, supported by Terry. And when it dropped, Nigel Callaghan just clipped it backwards into the net.
Do you remember that well, Nige? 19 years old.
Yeah, I remember that one. I tell you what the story was. That the week before that match, I had to go and stay at Graham Taylor's house. It was his way as, I don't know, he was trying to teach me something. I don't know. Still to this day, I haven't got a clue what he was. But he made me leave my car behind. So I stayed at his house for a week. It made me walk to the ground while he drove past me. And I sort of I got to know his family, and we played West Ham on the Saturday. And I made a goal and I scored that back healer. And after the match, everyone's sort of saying what a great match I had and all that. He said to me, "I want you to stay for a few more days." And I said to him, "I don't want to stay no more." I was getting the piss taken out of me by the players, saying I was teacher's pet and all that. So I went home, right, and we're playing Derby on the Tuesday at home, and he named a side to play Derby on the Tuesday, and he dropped me just because I wouldn't stay at his house for 3 more days. So I had a great game, and I got dropped because I didn't want to stay at his house. But I remember that day really well. I mean,
was that a cup game? Was it?
About that game,
I'm not sure, but I mean, I love that the girl who got the back heel. It just brought back the memories, and fair play. I mean, I think she just took everyone by surprise on that. But John Motson, cheeky goal.
Nice little perm you had as well there, Nigel.
Oh, do you know?
Are you naturally curly?
I used to have a Kevin Keegan perm for a few years, and then we was doing pre-season training one year, and this wasp got caught in my hair, and it stung the hell out of me. And I was just battering my head like that. Everyone thought I was having a fit. And after that, that's it. The perm went, and the mullet came in after that. Long live the mullet. Gary,
you were that game, girl.
Gary, have you ever had a mullet?
I remember it. Oh, I remember it, mate. I do, absolutely. I remember that game well because West Ham steamed in through the back of the Vicarage Road end at the end of the game. Fucking hell. Right under the scoreboard it was. Oh, dear. Always fun playing West Ham, but the mullet, mate, yeah.
But that Russo's goal was fantastic, wasn't it? She should have probably put the first chance away, and then it come out and took everyone by surprise. I think it was nutmeg too, the keeper and the defender, didn't it? But I think we were saying earlier, Nigel, that Russo is. We probably think she should start later for England. She's been that good when she's come. And I know you're a big fan of her, Greg.
Apparently she's going to name an unchanged side again, which will be the first time that it's happened, I think, ever. I can't understand why that that girl's not starting the game, Russo. She's come on and made an impact every time she's come on. So maybe that's what she's good at. But on the form she's shown, I'd be putting her in place of the other number 9.
Yeah. I've just had a look. It is unchanged.
It is, yeah. So, yeah,
I think it's going to be a tight game. When me and Nigel talking earlier, is it Pop, the German forward? Very
She's
good
quite
player.
good,
That header she got, attacking header, come in late.
thing is, putting everything aside, all right, people have got different opinions on women's football, and they're trying to compare it to the men's football and stuff like that. This afternoon, we just got to put everything to one side and get behind the girls, because it's England versus Germany. We need to win. So, the Lionesses, come on, let's do it. It'll be a happy night tonight.
Yeah. I think it could go all the way extra time. I think it's going to be tight.
I think 1-1 extra time. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the result will be on penalties. I'm not even going to go into that. What do you think, Gail? Are you going to watch the game?
Yeah, I've got the grandkids at the moment, so if they let me turn over from Peppa Pig.
You sure it's not you who's putting Peppa Pig on, Gail? I know you're a big advocate of women's football.
But I've shared my opinion. I think I have my concerns over women's football and money and finances supporting it, and I've brought all this up in the past. And the other thing, as I said yesterday, all this negativity from men, a lot of that's because I think we know that they're going to use this to beat us up, and this week has proved that to be the case. And they use it, atmosphere. Oh, we don't go. You've got men ringing up radio shows going, oh, we won't go to men's football because of the atmosphere and all that. And the women's football, they use bad language. And I think that's what, unfortunately, I feel sorry for the girls, because I think a lot of negativity comes from that. But you're right, what Nigel said, forget all that today. Let's get behind them. Let's beat Germany. It's coming home. Let's bring it home. Come on, the Lionesses. We're behind you.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think they're going to win, Gail?
I don't know.
Do you know what? You come on this show to get the expert opinion.
You know what? Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I say I don't know. Mate, to me, England look unstoppable. I mean, they really do. But if there's one team that will play England at their own game and will calculate out England, it would be the Germans. And so I'd want to look, for me, England all day long. I mean, they've looked so good compared to the rest of them. But just got a feeling Germany. Yeah, I think the 1-1, what you said, and then in extra time, it's anybody's game.
I think the danger in that German side is that Pop. She is a strong centre forward, and I think England need to stop the crosses coming in, because if she's getting ammunition, that girl gets on the end of headers. So. She's, for me, the main thing with England at the moment. I'd be saying we need to stop the crosses coming in, because this girl, she attacks the ball like Andy Gray does. So she's pretty good.
I think one weak link we got is, Lucy Bronze who's a brilliant top player, was a Ballon d'Or winner, wasn't she? But where she powers bombs forward, she got caught out against Sweden, where they just quickly they run the ball back early, then they'll get down the wing. So I think we can't be as it'll be tight and it won't be such an attacking game from us, I don't think. Be a very cagey game, I think. But should be good. But funny enough, do you know, is it Das Bild or the Bilder, the German equivalent of the Sun in Germany, the tabloid newspaper? Their headline was we're looking for revenge for 66. They've gone like the old Sun with the old World War II hats and all that. So they've really taken it seriously out there in Germany now as well, this game. So,
haven't they won this 4 times as well? They got quite a good record.
They beat us 6-2, but that was at Wembley. So I think that's what they're trying to say.
Greg, they've won it 8 times.
8 times, is it?
8 times, yeah. Still, all the fans actually start singing, 10 German bombers, all that. Oh, no, maybe not. Then all the fans won't watch women's football, will they? I forgot. Yeah, sorry.
Do you know what?
In the men's game.
Do you know what, guys? I'm hoping we get that moment in the game where the commentator says, "They think it's all over."
Yeah.
How good would that be?
Well, there's one of the subjects you missed, Dan. See, I think it's all over. They're on the pitch. They won't be on the pitch without getting seriously banned.
Yeah, we run out of time now. But...
They're on the pitch, but they've got a ban. You know what? I will say this, and this is where we've crossed the line in terms of banter. And banter in football has always been brilliant, whether it's banter between the fans, whatever, and we've crossed the line now where so many people get offended. But there's been some great banter, and the 3 irons on the shirt. Have you seen the badge? It's just a bit of banter and it's a bit of fun, and the truth is they're behind the girls. But it's been fun, 3 irons on a shirt. My T-shirt still got creases.
No,
look, we're behind them. We're behind them.
Behind them.
Yeah, of course.
Come on, the girls.
We're all behind them.
They have done us very proud. They have.
It's
really.
kicking off in half an hour, so I think I might get to crack a few beers open. I'm feeling a lot better than I did this morning. So wish the Lionesses really well. And we'll be back next week at the normal time at 6 o'clock. 6 p.m. next week. So I hope everyone had a great week. And come on the Lionesses.
Yeah.
And I've never had a mullet, by the way.
See you later, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Everyone.
Come on, the girls.